control. Plot twist, a whole generation lost with no promise. Can you feel my love? Do you know my pain? It's in my head every night. I replay a deadly game for a natural born killer. I'm a natural born killer.
Hello, Captains. In today's video, let's take a closer look at some of the objects that are flying around our solar system near our star, our sun, which is shining in my eyes right now, and near us, near Earth. So I created a interactive visualization to help us take a look at this data that I pulled from NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratories Horizons API. That data is available for anybody in the public who wants to download it and take a closer look themselves. All right, buckle up, enjoy.
The purpose of this application is to track and project different kinds of near-Earth objects and potentially hazardous objects that are flying around and through our solar system. For example, asteroids, solar or periodic comets, non-periodic comets, and interstellar comets. Currently, the application is integrated with the NASA JPL Horizons system API. In the future, I'm planning to integrate the application with some other data sources as well. For example, the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert system, also called ATLAS. Currently, I have credentials for the ATLAS API, but I have not integrated the data yet into this app. So for now, this app is just showing historical tracking and projections or simulations from real-world data from NASA. First, I will show you some recent or famous flyby events that we've observed. For instance, the 3 interstellar comets that scientists detected. The first one is called Oumuamua, or One Eye Oumuamua. One Eye just stands for the first interstellar comet detected. The second one is called Two Eye Borisov, and the third one was called Three Eye Atlas. So for now, I'm just going to show you interstellar comet Three Eye Atlas, the historical tracking of that and its projection or simulation. This app has data going back 1 year in the past for the historical tracking. So if I go ahead and play it, we can see 3I Atlas passing by the Earth. This is 3I Atlas, the interstellar comet right here. This is the Earth right here. And this is the Sun. This is just to prove to you that this app is accurate and based on real data from NASA. The closest approach that that comet had to Earth was in December of 2025. As we can see right here. Now also in March of 2026, it passed by Jupiter. So I'll show you that too. So we can see right there in March how it went past Jupiter. Next, I'll show you a recent asteroid flyby that happened on June 27th, 2026. It didn't get much attention, but it's just to prove to you that this app is accurate and based on real data from NASA again, this time with an asteroid. So right now the orbital canvas is showing little red diamonds for every asteroid, at least the known ones. Not all of them. This is just a few of the known asteroids. There's a lot more than this. There's tens of thousands of them, but right now this is just showing a few. Each one of those little red diamonds is an asteroid, and then the little white crosses are comets. Again, and there's not too many of them shown here. It's just a handful. There's a lot more that we know about that I haven't displayed yet here. So let's find the asteroid that just flew by us a few days ago. It's called 1997 HC1 with an ID of 152637. There it is. It's orbiting the sun. All right, now I'm going to display the Earth so we can see how close to it got. Okay. We'll go ahead and play the historical tracking. Right now we're in 2025. I'll pause it once it gets to June 27th, 2026. Right about, let me slow it down a little bit. Okay, so here's Earth, and then here's the asteroid, and right about June 27th of 2026, I'll pause it. Pause it right here. Yeah, we can see that asteroid's right next to the Earth. 1997 NC1. This asteroid was first discovered in 1997. That's why it says that year. and then it has an identifier 152637. It's categorized as a potentially hazardous asteroid. That's what PHA stands for. Next, I'll show you a different asteroid that has an annual meteor shower. Well, often in these meteor showers, there's sky fireball events, big fireballs in the sky that everybody sees because we have cameras now everywhere. So this asteroid is called Phaethon 3200. It's an active near-Earth asteroid, best known as the parent body of an annual meteor shower that happens every year in November and December. So when I play the historical tracking for this, we will see how the Earth crosses through the orbital path of that asteroid, which is left behind fragments right there. So we can see right where I paused it around November and December, where the Earth's orbit passed right through the orbit of that asteroid. We have to watch these things closely because there's a lot of predators or insider traders on the prediction markets like Polymarket and Kalshi who are exploiting the ignorant masses, fooling people into thinking that these meteor showers are UAP sightings or some nonsense like that. So do your research before placing any bets on those markets. Or better yet, just avoid the prediction markets entirely, because the gambling epidemic affects us all. Meaning, if your neighbor loses their next month's rent in a bet because they lost that bet foolishly, their problem is now your problem too. Next, I'll talk about the projections or simulations of the trajectories of where all these different objects are heading towards. With fossil fuels consumption, there's a situation where crude oil fracking may be causing earthquakes. I don't know if it's been totally proven yet, but even these minor effects on the Earth's center of mass may not be as insignificant as we had assumed. And this is related to the three-body problem. The three bodies being the Sun, the Earth, and just one asteroid or one comet. Particularly looking at changes, minor changes in those orbits. So with the three-body problem, the moment you add that third mass, the predictability vanishes. This is because all three bodies continuously exert gravitational pulls on one another. Their movements become inextricably linked and highly complex. Mathematicians proved a long time ago that the three-body problem has no solution. So the system is fundamentally chaotic. It exhibits an extreme sensitivity to initial conditions. It's often colloquially called the butterfly effect. So even if you measure the positions and velocities of 3 stars down to microscopic accuracy, the tiniest missing fraction of data will compound exponentially over time, causing your long-term predictions to look wildly different from reality. Next, I'll show you a couple of future close approach events. The first one is a near-Earth object called 1999 AN10. It's an asteroid with designator 137108. It's scheduled to have a flyby past Earth on August 7th, 2027, with a lunar distance of about 1. The lunar distance is just the distance of the Earth to the Moon. So this asteroid, that's how close it's going to get to us. And it also has, on the Torino scale, it's a Torino 4, which is considered a quote-unquote critical threat. Critical just meaning it's something very high priority that we should be paying close attention to. It's not actually going to hit us. Scientists have already confirmed it's no threat of hitting Earth, but it's something high priority that we should be paying attention to. So let's go ahead and play the projection for that one, and we can pause it when it gets at October 7th, 2027. So there's the asteroid up there orbiting the sun. Here's the Earth orbiting the sun. I'll speed it up a little bit. And I'll pause it when we get to August. And we'll see where their orbits cross. Oh, I'm only going, in this app, I only pull data from 1 year into the future. So that's why we can't see August of 2027. But you can see they're both trajectories going towards each other. They were going to cross very close at this point right here. I'll show you one more future close approach event. This one is asteroid 1990 MU with ID 4953. It's scheduled for a flyby Earth on June 6, 2027 with a lunar distance of about 12. So that's 12 distances from the Earth to the Moon. And this one has a Torino 5 as a quote-unquote critical threat. So I guess this one's considered even more important to look at than the one that I showed you previously. I don't know why it's considered more important than the other one, because it's farther away. I don't know. Maybe it's big. Maybe it's bigger and brighter, or maybe there's a higher chance that its trajectory could be influenced before we get to June. Anyways, let's play it. So here's Earth, and then here's the asteroid down here. I'll pause it when it gets to June. We'll be able to see this one cross because I've got data from a year into the future where they're going to cross that. Probably right here. I think it's going to be right here. Yeah. Go ahead and pause it. Yeah. So yeah, June 6th, 2027, that asteroid's going to be right on top of Earth. So we'll definitely be paying close attention to this one as well. So to close out today's video, I just want to touch on the hazardous trends discovery that physicists and scientists are actively working on. So they're trying to discover trends and trajectories of different near-Earth objects and potentially hazardous objects that could be caused by asteroid belt bumps. Like if those asteroids in the belt bump into each other, it's like bowling pins. Definitely something that needs to be looked at closely. I mean, you could say these asteroids, they're all so far away from each other that the chances of it are pretty low, but I'm sure it's happened a lot and will definitely happen in the future. Just because, I mean, there's tens of thousands of these things, not to mention that the ones we haven't even found yet. These hazardous trends can also be caused by perturbations, galactic tide, and even passing stars. So there's a lot of additional analysis that's going on and more that's needed. So the whole point of this is to identify critical patterns, anomalies, and trajectory shift events that may otherwise go unnoticed. If we don't study this stuff, we could just be completely blindsided by one of these things. Now, I have no proof yet, but I'm starting to think that scientists recently confirmed or discovered a hazardous threat. And that could explain some of the other trends that we're all seeing. I don't have any proof of that. It's just kind of like my gut feeling. So, like, we're seeing a lot of other trends, like increased erratic behavior by world leaders, increased resource grabs, like for crude oil and rare earth minerals, for the materials required to build planetary defense systems. We're seeing increased distractions by the controlled mass media. We're seeing increased scams and fraud by elites to acquire more funds for their production. We're seeing increased space missions, which is the rapid acceleration of the space race between the world leaders. It's racing to own space. So is lunar space. We're seeing increased cases of missing scientists like General Neil McCaslin. Maybe that's just espionage, or maybe their expertise was needed for planetary defense missions. We're seeing increased heavy payload space launches by aerospace companies. We're seeing increased building of bunkers by the elites for their protection. We're seeing increased building of data centers for scientists to make better predictions in complex systems, like the n-body problem that I talked about earlier. It's more than just the 3-body problem. It's like the tens of thousands body problem. They call it the n-body problem. And scientists have advanced systems for making predictions in those complex systems. We're seeing increased censorship, shadow banning, and suppression of free speech, suppression of fringe thinking. We're seeing increased UAP activity. And I'm not talking about the hoaxes. I'm not talking about the disinformation from government counterintelligence. I'm talking about the actual UAP observations with supporting evidence that are still unexplained. We're also seeing increased demonic activity. I'm not talking about hoaxes. I'm not talking about the grifting from religious fanatics. I'm talking about the self-destructive and predatory behavior. And then finally, there's this increased overall sense from the general public that something isn't quite right. Does it have to do with any of this? I don't know. But I think it's something we should all be paying closer attention to right now. All right, thanks. Have a nice day.